What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Two Guys Watching Football, where we are back with more film, back in the film room. You guys keep asking it. You guys, this week, you're like, I need that film right here. So we're going to keep bringing it to you. We're going to go to Isaiah Likely today and look at his debut. So we did Daniel Falele, Travis Jones, very well received videos. Same deal. If you guys are liking this content, if it's what you want to see, hit that like button. It tells me you guys are liking it, motivates me to put out more. We just keep rolling. So I love it. So hit that like button. If you guys are new here, hit subscribe. And the feedback's been awesome. So if you guys still have feedback about the channel, drop it in the comments below. Some really good stuff. I'm working on a new program right now that would give me some, I can highlight players and use pointers. And that way, when I'm explaining what we're looking at, we can kind of do it visually and opposed to just talking about it. So I will use my cursor. I think you guys can see it. It's not the best, but it's what we have for now. So let's get rolling with that. And so let's talk about Isaiah Likely. So we're looking at, I think I pulled about 10 snaps, 6 pass plays and 4 run plays. We'll start with the pass plays because I know that's what everyone's here to see. And then with his run blocking, we know it wasn't great. He got flagged for 2 holding calls, had a couple of missed assignments. So we're going to kind of look at what's going on there, what he can do better. In the pass game, I think we can really see what he's all about. Like what they got this guy to come in and be a threat in the pass game. He needs to be a good enough run blocker to be on the field and not be, a tell for what it's the pass or whether it's going to be a pass or a run play. But he's going to get there. I'm not that worried about it, and I'll kind of explain why and some of the things that I think he can do better. But his hands really shined. I think he had 4 catches on 5 targets. The other night, 44 yards, 4 catches on 4 targets. So he caught all 4. He had 2 contested catches. So we're going to look at all that. Let's get right into the pass game. All right. So there's Likely in the bottom slot. This is going to be a play. Tylan Wallace gets targeted on it, but I want to show he's going to basically run up the seam here and then break a little out route. So there he gets physical, boom, wide open. So the pass goes underneath. It looks like the pass was intended for him, but it was actually intended for Tylan. But it kind of went over his head, and it looks like it kind of lands at Likely. You can see right there. Likely actually almost caught it. That's kind of some of the spacing issues that people have had concerns with Greg Roman kind of showing here. So I originally thought the target was for him, but it looks like it was for Wallace, or it was for Likely. It's actually really hard to tell. But the ball wasn't there. The O-line kind of broke down, but you can see Likely coming up the seam. Look at the physicality right there. Throws the arm out, gives him a little bit of space, and then just a really fluid break. And that's really what is impressive about him as a receiver, his ability to run routes and get some separation right there. Boom. Look at that separation. And now that I'm watching it again, it does look like it's for Likely. So you guys let me know what you think. Do you think that was intended for Likely and it was just thrown behind him, or was it overthrown to Wallace but landed at Likely? Interesting play. But again, I think you can really see the athleticism there. But the big thing that I wanted to point out that I've noticed with him is that you can see in that route is the physicality right off the line of scrimmage. He had no issue getting his hand up on the guy and creating that initial separation. So this is the play, motions over to the strength side. It's a nice little play action. He gets open and shows that yak ability. Really impressive juke there to create. I think he ended up with 3 yards here. So he creates a little bit of space and is able to get out. Let's go back. So he's going to do a little bit of a chip block and then leak out on a play action just to become a check down outlet. So right there, we've seen that before where it's, he catches at base. I think it's -3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So it's kind of like, he's just trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, but he's able to make a couple guys miss. 1-2 run through contact. Really impressive yak ability there. I think that really shows what he could do when he gets the ball out in space a little bit more. I'll get to the next play. So we have him here again in the slot. Huntley going through some reads pre-snap. And there's just, again, what I like here is he finds a nice soft spot in the zone. They have 3 defenders sagging off. They're showing 7 at the line of scrimmage, which that's really important because this is kind of the issues that the Ravens had against the Miami Dolphins were those crowded lines of scrimmages where they have 7 guys and then only 4 guys in coverage. So his ability to kind of he's running the curl here, but his ability to get right out of it, turn around, get back to the ball a little bit, create that outlet. Really impressive there. And then also, not a ton of yak, but a little bit here. He almost broke it right there. He gets by one guy. If he gets by that second guy, little bit of space to grab some yak. So, really impressive there. I liked how he had this really nice ability to kind of read soft spots in the zone, and try and create out of there. So, good ability there. There we have him coming out of the Y alignment. This was a 22-yard catch, contested catch. I believe this was called an incompletion. They reviewed it, and it was a catch. I'd have to go back and check. But what I liked here is, you see him coming out of the Y alignment where he's right on the line of scrimmage, hand down in the dirt, showing a little bit of versatility. Those previous catches, previous routes, he was in the slot. One was in motion. So, again, showing a little bit of everything he can do. But look at his burst to come up the seam here. And then it's just a deep crosser. And right there, right up, high points the ball, hand in his face, gets down, protects the ball, takes a little bit of a shot too. Really impressive there at the catch point, and that's really showing what he can do for you as a receiver. And that's why the Ravens wanted him. Look at that, boom, nice. Takes a little bit of a shot, still holds on to it, gets his hand under. I'm 90% sure that's the one that was reviewed and called the catch. So really impressive work there from him. This next one here, we have Likely in the slot again up top. And right there. So not really a real display of route running, but how many times have Ravens fans asked for guys to work back to the ball? So you'll see Huntley here. He gets a little bit of interior pressure and he starts to roll out right there. You see Likely notice it. And instead of just continuing to the sideline, he course corrects and gets open. Again, works back into the soft spot of the zone to create some space and give Huntley a target to get the ball out before he's too close to the sideline. So really impressive there. Again, showing skill sets that I think the Ravens needed, ability to read soft spots in zone, ability to work back to the ball. Now he's up top in the bunch, up at the line of scrimmage. And right there, so this is Shamar Bridges' catch, but you can see him break open here. It looked like Shamar Bridges was the opening read. You can see Huntley looks immediately left, and he ends up slinging it out there for a catch. But you see Likely at the top on a non-targeted route. He's beat his guy, and he's calling for the ball. So, he had a really good shot at 6 there. Another little bit of a spacing issue. You kind of have them both running side by side, which was interesting. But, again, showing his ability to burst off the line of scrimmage and show that athleticism to threaten down the seam. Right there, I'll just show it again. Boom, right there. Nice little release. That release is what got that. So, we've seen a lot here in just 4 plays. A lot of his ability to, use route running, use his release package, get some yak, really diverse skill set. Likely's in the slot here at the top to the right of the offensive line. And again, right there. So this is Shamar Bridges' catch for 6, which was a thing of beauty. Nice high point of the ball. But same as last play, Likely sets him up and then cuts back inside. And if that is a targeted throw, he's got the separation. The safety may have been – did the safety already leave when he broke? Maybe, because when the ball come out? Well, he's reading Huntley's eyes, so he might have ran it right into the safety, but his ability to kind of snap off that route shows a little bit of his burst in his route running. So, impressive stuff from him there. We'll look at his run blocks now. Stuff that I wasn't overly fired up as someone with an offensive line background, but nonetheless, we got to look at a little bit of everything. So he's going to motion across the line of scrimmage. I think this is the toss. Yeah, so he's going to motion across. Oh no, this is just a power. So the idea is they're going to run power to the left here. Ben Cleveland's going to pull behind the down blocks from James and Tyree Phillips. And then he's kind of the kick-out man. So the kick-out man, when he comes across, you want to get that edge out of the play so that the ball can be run off the C-gap here. So as James down blocks, I'll show you right here. So as that down block happens, Cleveland's going to pull into the gap, and then it's Likely's job to kick this guy out to the sideline. And he just kind of looks confused about what his job was. So, Hill was able to kind of make a little bit of a move there to create some space, but it just looked like he didn't really fully understand what the concept was. He looked a little lost. So that's a lot of that's more recognizing what your assignment is on a given play. That's going to come with more film study, that sort of thing. So we're going to see him there. He motions over to the strong side. He's now part of the bunch. And then this is one of the holding calls. So you're going to see James with a very, very nice, this is a pin and pull. So he likely just needs to pin here while the pull goes around him. So all he needs to do is take outside leverage on that defensive end and just hold him in there. Not literally hold him in there, but you can kind of see right off the initial point. I would like to see him take a step up because Jalen Moore is on the line of scrimmage, so he's a step back, and he kind of angles away from the line of scrimmage, which did not help him. And then there you can see him holding. James makes a really nice block, gets to the sideline. I think it was for a first down. So what you'd ideally like to see is a better understanding of leverage. Ideally, I'd want to see him take a left step forward towards the line of scrimmage, towards Moore. And then as the defender reads and he's coming into you, he'd take his inside hand, get it right inside the chest plate, nice and low, and then just wall him off. He doesn't need to do a drive block. He doesn't need to do anything other. Just cut him off, take him out of the play, hit the pin so that the pull can go behind you. But, he does the hold. James still hits his pull, but, when it gets called back, it's just going to hurt you. And then this is the other hold. He's off the line of scrimmage here. Again, is this outside zone? No, it's another power. So Phillips is going to pull behind the down blocks from Oliver and Falele. So they're right there. Mason's going for a kick out right there. Phillips is pulling through and likely just needs to kind of drive his man off. Because the ball is going outside of him, you kind of want him to pick a leverage point, either pick outside or inside leverage. Because if he sets inside of him here, Mason's going to go through, and as is Phillips, but he sets kind of head on, and that's not what you want to do because you're not really picking an inside or an outside for the runner to read off of you. So it's kind of confusing. I think the defender here is making a play on Hill, so it really had nothing to do with Likely at the end until he ran away from him. But pick your leverage point, and that's kind of showing. Again, that's going to come with film study as he works more on his craft. But just looking a little lost in the blocking game is kind of the biggest takeaway. He doesn't really seem to have a full understanding of where he needs to be angling himself, creating leverage within the play concept. And then this is going to be an outside zone to the left, where typically his first step should be a left scoop step or bucket step to the left. So he's taking a hard 90-degree step, and you can see off the snap, where does he go? Right step inside. And so everyone on the line is going left except for him. He should be going out to 35 here. And if he goes out to 35, it kind of looks like everybody else does their job. But 35 was able to make a play on the ball as well as the backside inside linebacker. So again, it's very similar to the play we just looked at. Looking a little lost in terms of what his assignment is on that one. So, the biggest takeaway from Likely, it's really not that complicated. Huge value add in the pass game. You're seeing him show a really nice release, really good route running, good athleticism to create separation, good contested catch ability, making a highlight catch, getting yak, all those things we've been clamoring for a receiving tight end to kind of complement Mark Andrews. But the key is you got to be able to stay on the field in the run game. I know people don't love it because people are kind of sick of the run heavy approach, and I get it, but that's just the reality of the situation Isaiah Likely is in. So, I think as he studies the film, understands his assignment a little bit more, I think he has the skills to become a better blocker. Nothing there really concerned me. Nothing looked like lack of strength or willingness, those are the two things that concern me the most. It showed me a misunderstanding of how to create leverage within the play concept. So where do I put my body so that when I deploy my hands and I start angling guys to create running lanes? So he'll get there. I'm really not worried about it. It's something we're going to look at next week after the second game, because I assume the Ravens are going to keep him in these opportunities to give him practice, keep him developing, and get him ready for the regular season. That's all I have for you guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other.